Hi, welcome to another episode of our podcast, Spitting Tea and Spilling Facts, with your host, Emma, and my co-host, the bestie, Daniela.
Hi.
This is Daniela.
Yes, that's me.
And that's about the depth of her.
Oh, what? Okay.
So, Daniela, listen, you're going to have to hold on tight for this
Oh,
one.
no.
I'm going to tell you about the cave.
The what?
Cave.
You mean like
The cave.
The cave as in
The
like
cave.
where bears sleep?
The cave. The allegory of the cave, that is.
Huh?
The allegory of the cave.
What is the allegory of the cave?
So, there's these men.
That's unfortunate.
There's these men and then they're in a cave.
Uh-huh.
Yes, like an actual cave. And they're like they're chained up so that they can only look forward, and like at the back of the cave, they can only look at the back of the cave, and like, their heads can only see forward. They're just tied up in a really weird situation.
Yeah.
They've never been any other type of way except for that. Like, that's how they were born, and that's how they stayed. I guess
They were popped out and then chained into
I
a
guess
wall?
so. And then so then one of them decides, I don't want to be tied up to the floor of this cave anymore. And so he gets up.
Rightfully so.
And then he's just like, what the heck? And then he turns around and he sees, fire and other people. And the other people are making shadows on the wall. And, the guys that were tied up and, to only face the wall, they only ever saw the shadows. They never saw the actual people. So, they were just, scared of the shadows, and they knew that the shadows were there. And, they just didn't know about the world around them at all. And so the guy who broke free, he goes around to his, friends, or, his brothers or whatever. He's like, guys, there's a whole world. Turn around. And then they're like, no, you're crazy. And then they kill him.
They gaslit him and then murdered him?
Yes, they gaslit him and then murdered him for telling them that there was, something different out there.
So men have been gaslighting people since the beginning of time.
Yes. Well, this is just an allegory. It's not since the beginning of time. We're going to talk about what basically that means in relation to politics and political theory. So it basically reflects and means that we, we as humans, see what's right in front of us, and we reject what we can't see. And so, the political theory and, basically politics, I guess, are kind of enemies.
Right.
Because political theory is basically kind of like philosophy. And, philosophy just tears apart politics. To the core. And so it basically, philosophy or political theory, whatever you want to call it, it comes out to, symbolizes the guy who, escaped from the chains.
Yeah.
So, it aims to uncover the truth of, the world, uncover the truth of what we're not really seeing. And then, the guys who are chained up and like kill him because they don't want to listen to what he's saying, they kind of like symbolize politics and basically the whole situation, like them in the cave, whoever's keeping them in the cave, that's like politics. And this dude who escapes and like sees the fire and, you know, realizes that there's more in the world, he's representing philosophy because philosophy like deconstructs politics to like the very core, like in order to feed itself, basically. So what do you think about the allegory of the cave? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a major one.
What?
So, if the dudes that were chained up and were on the ground, you know, were chained up and everything.
Yeah.
How did they manage to kill the guy that was free? And why didn't he just run away? Since the other guys were chained to the ground?
You know what? I don't actually know. They were, let me just say that they were a bunch of theorists. And theorists are weird.
Like a game theory? It was a game theory?
Yeah. And theorists are weird.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that one.
And wimpy, I think.
And wimpy?
Yeah. No, do you have any final thoughts on the cave? No, we should talk about?
Besides the fact that that guy should have escaped out alive, I think it's dumb that the other guys didn't listen to him.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the symbolism aspect of that, you're basically saying, like, you know, we should have more people actually knowing what's going on in the world.
Well, there could be an argument made, you know, where people say that ignorance is bliss and that. And I feel like there should be an amount of people who know the truth. And if some people choose to stay blind, well, that's kind of on them. But I don't think you should ever try and stop someone from trying to see it. You know, like if they want to explore on their own, that's okay. Maybe if like give them a little push or something, just to let them know that there's like something else out there, rather than just like being funneled in your own vision and not knowing of something else that you could be experiencing. I think that's more of like a loss of experience kind of thing.
Oh shit. And with that, we've run out of time. This has been another episode of the podcast Spitting Tea and Spilling Facts with me and Daniela. Today we learned about the cave and how philosophers and theorists are a little bit weird.
Right, yeah.
And thank you for listening. Goodbye, everybody.